Mhm. Okay,
Okay.
begin.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to welcome everybody.
Start.
Did you hear me?
Okay.
Yes, yes, I hear you.
Assalamu alaikum. You all, I think most of you know me, but the new people. I'm Dr. Shan Hajo. I first met Dr. Abdul Hayy about 27 to 28 years ago in Paris, and he's from Texas, but he was doing a tour, Dawah tour in New Jersey, I would imagine. So somebody put us together somehow. And I remember I took him to the office. He made a presentation. Sister Madiha was present at that presentation. I was impressed by his organization and how thorough his research was. So I think I invited you to my house. Some people say they attended my house. I don't recall that, but I know for a fact that we went to the masjid, nearby masjid, ICPC, and he gave a talk there, and everybody was just as impressed. That was 27 years ago. Somehow we reconnected about 2-3 weeks ago by faith. Allah Ya'lam, I don't remember how, but anyway, it's a pleasure to have seen you again after all these years. I want to tell you a little brief introduction about his CV. He has 56 pages PDF.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I'll send it to you guys, Madiha. It's on the website. Maybe you can send it to Qa'war's group. He has PhD in mechanical engineering, and he resides in Houston, Texas. Dr. Hayy has 30 years experience of aerospace work experience with NASA International Space Station. He's the founder and the director of Final Revelation. His website, you can go to his website and see his Dawah website. It's called www.finalrevelation.net. There's all kind of Dawah kits, free download, all kinds of things you can use right away. I mean, it's really impressive. He authored and published about 20 books on Islam, Dawah, and comparative religions. He recently leads a project. Listen to this. He recently leads a project of a simple English translation of the Quran that is being used among hotels, churches, and hospitals. This simple English translation of the Quran has been adopted by the American Pentagon, and has been distributed to the U.S. Marine corporations and the U.S. Army service personnel. That's amazing. This Quran is available in numerous languages also. Dr. Hayy has traveled internationally for da'wah to many countries. Among these countries are UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, United Kingdom, France, India, Pakistan, Colombia, among many other. I think Malaysia and Indonesia, I've seen it somewhere also. I think he's been all over just doing da'wah. For 30 years, he's been doing pure da'wah. He produced many training courses, many workshops and presentation topics. He organized like I said, various workshops. He has CDs, DVDs, USB free loads, and da'wah material for the inmates and those incarcerated in the state and federal correction facilities. Of course, he has his share of awards, TV presentations, and media coverage and all that. Dr. Abdul Hayy also received an appreciation letter from the US State Pentagon for his work. For those interested in da'wah, you can visit, like I said, www.finalrevelation.net to download da'wah material. There's toolkits and all kinds of things for da'wah. His CV, as I said, is 56 pages PDF file. I've attached it in the website, but we can forward it to you. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Abdul Hayy. The floor is yours, Doc.
Okay, inshallah. So everybody can see my page, Quran and Science. Madiha, can you see?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, so that is my first page of the PowerPoint presentation. The topic is very important, Quran and Science. And I'm going to cover as much as possible. The presentation is 3 hours, but I will try to wrap it up within an hour, inshallah. Okay, just very briefly, I made this recently. Where is Allah? You can see I work for a space NASA. As you can see on the left top corner, we have the Earth, then we have the solar system. The solar system is a part of the Milky Way, as you can see, like a dot. And then Milky Way can be one Milky Way can be into another Milky Way, as you can see. And the Milky Way is so tiny in a galaxy. And then if we keep on going, everything becomes smaller. Then we have the first sky. First sky is like a dot in the second sky, and so on. And the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, one night he traveled through all this, skies with angel Jibrail, and they came to the boundary of the seventh heaven, seventh sky, which is called station of angel Jibrail, Sidratul Muntaha, where angel Jibrail said, "This is my last stop. I cannot go beyond that. You have to go alone." So the Prophet traveled further alone. He went to the Arsh of Allah, and inside the Arsh there is a kursi, where Allah's station is there. And there is an ayat in the Quran, Al-Baqarah, verse number 255, which describes about it in detail. So this is some sort of pictorial view about what are the things are there in the seven sky, seven heaven, universe, and just to give you a better idea. So similarly, as you can see, in the world we have a life, in the grave we have three questions, the day of judgment, 50,000 years, 5 questions, then everybody will cross the bridge. Those who will be able to cross the bridge, they'll go to the heaven eventually. They can be neighbor of the Prophet, they can meet Allah, and Allah will assure them in person that you can live in the heaven forever. That is the highest reward for a person in the heaven. And those who will go to hell, they will fall into the hellfire. Only people who have faith, who believed in Allah in some way, someday, somewhere, sometime, they will be rescued from the hell and will be placed in the heaven. Other than that, most of the others will be in the hellfire forever. That is the fuel Allah mentioned in the Quran. The fuel of the hellfire is human and stone. So just to give you an idea, we Muslims are divided on Quran, as you can see. Some say, well, I want to be Hafiz, memorize the Quran. Some say, I like to recite like Ari Abdul Basit, so beautiful. Most of the non-Arabic speaking people, we don't read Quran often. We read only occasionally, like Surah Ikhlas, Surah Yasin, for Barakat, for cure. Somebody sick, somebody died, month of Ramadan we read. Other than that, we put in the shelf. We don't even know what Allah is saying in the Quran. And there are some scholars, few scholars who knows about Quran, but they do not know science, so they cannot compare. And most of the Muslim pioneers, as you can see, algebra, geometry, navigation, philosophy, psychology, printing, medicine, these are the discoveries of the Muslim. When you talk about these things, we are so proud. Islam is so great. But what is happening today? All the modern scientific discoveries, if you look around, are being done by the non-Muslim. You can see them in every field. That is the discussion we're going to do today. And the unfortunate thing is they have discovered many things from the Quran, which was revealed 1400 years back. That how is it we read the same Quran, we cannot find anything. It is the non-Muslim, they discover many things from the Quran. That is the core of this presentation. Quran is a book of science. It has over 6,000 verses, more than 1,000 deal with science. So we have people who say that I have nothing to do with science. I'm busy with Quran. But actually Allah is saying that 20% of the Quranic information has to do with science. It is valid today. It is valid tomorrow. Till the last day of this world, human being will be discovering many things which are yet to be discovered in it. So Quran is a book of science which has many things yet to be discovered. That is the scientists are saying. They cannot even explain many things. We'll talk about it a little bit. This is Professor Dr. Maurice Bucaille. He is a French medical doctor. He used to live in Saudi Arabia. He wrote the book, Bible, the Quran and Science. In that book, he compared all the scientific facts of the Bible and the Quran. His mission was to find any mistakes. And at the end, he says, I could not find a single error in the Quran. He couldn't. There are mistakes in the Bible everywhere. Thousands of mistakes are there. But his mission was to find mistakes in the Quran, but he couldn't find at the end. This is Professor Keith Moore. He's at the University of Toronto. He's still alive. His research area is conception and stages of embryological growth. How a child grows in the womb of his mother. How their cells multiply. That is his research area. And he said, I found everything from Quran. How about that? In fact, he says now that there are many verses in the Quran he cannot even explain because those things has not been discovered yet. So we think sometimes as a Muslim, The Quran is the old book. It talks about Moses, about Jesus, about old histories and this and that. The news are what you call a cyclone and storm and all these old things. But this scientist is saying it is so advanced, there are many things yet to be discovered. And he wrote a book, it's called Developing Human. This book has been translated into 8 languages. This is the textbook in medical school in many parts of the world. In that book, he has concluded, or whatever I found in the Quran would not have come from any other source except the Creator. It is not possible for someone sitting in a desert to write those scientific mysteries which was discovered 1400 years back. Only Creator knows those things. And this is Professor Tejasen. He's at Chiang University, Thailand, Bangkok. His research area is pain receptors, how pain happens. You see, on our skin, we have pain receptors. Pain receptors, like you can see on your skin. There are hundreds and thousands of pain receptors all over your body, and that's how we can feel pain. Now, Allah mentioned in the Quran, Surah Nisa, verse number 56, Yazukul Azab, taste of punishment. Allah is describing in this verse, actually 3 verses, 55, 56, 57. These 3 verses, Allah is describing how He will going to punish the people of the hellfire. On the day of judgment, when people will go to hellfire, their skin will be removed and replaced with another layer of skin with more sensitive, more painful pain receptors. That description in the Quran so much impressed by the scientific accuracy that this one verse was sufficient for the scientists to understand the truth and became Muslim. He is still there. But that's verse, we have been reading this verse for 1400 years. We could not figure, we could not even know what Allah is saying. So this scientist, he is an expert on pain receptors. It was enough for him to understand what Allah is saying in this verse. This is about astronomy. Allah mentioned about astronomy in many places. This is Azumar, verse number 5, overlapping Kawara, particular word is called Kawara. That means we have day and to night, night into days. It happens, right, continuously. It overlaps from day to night, night into days. And we have North Pole and South Pole are pressed like that. This picture shows. And Naziat, verse number 30, Allah mentioned that the earth is not completely circular, but it is geospherical, flattened on both poles. That is the description Allah mentioned in this verse. This is the sun. As you can see, the sun's flame is there. The flame is so big. If you bring the earth, it will be inside the flame. As you can see, earth. Not only one earth, rather 45 earths. If you collect 45 earths, stack them vertically, all the 45 earths will be inside the flame of the sun. The depth of the flame of the sun is 365,000 miles. Earth is only 8,000 miles, or Earth is getting smaller. These are solar system. As you can see, the sun and all the planets are there. Each of them are moving in their own axis. They cannot collide with each other. They cannot hit each other. They go around the sun continuously. As you can see, each of them are unique. We have Venus, we have Earth, then we have Mars. NASA has a mission to Mars. They want to land human being within the next 15 years. There is a competition right now between USA, China, and India. They want to go over there. It has a lot of opportunities. We'll talk about it some other time, but it has a lot of things human being can benefit from it. Venus is some planet which moves in the opposite direction. As you know, before the day of judgment, the sun will rise from the west. It is already happening in Venus. It moves in the opposite direction of the Earth. Then we have Jupiter, we have Saturn, we have Uranus and Neptune. Each of the planet is different. They're different in size. Their style is different. I have a presentation on each of the planets. It is so amazing to see that how Allah created the vast universe, how Allah created all these stars and planets. In light, it travels very fast. It takes 3 hours to cross our solar system, as you can see. That is the size of our solar system. We're going to use it to measure other distances. And as you know, there are meteoroids in the sky. There is a belt, actually. Most of the meteoroids are there. And most of them stay there. Once in a while, if anyone comes down, it is pulled by the gravity of the Earth. And when it comes through the atmosphere, most of the time it is burned. Nothing reaches the Earth. But if once in a while it comes down, like this one, this meteoroid, it happened 2013. It came over Soviet Union. And when it came down with the speed of 20 times the speed of sound. Very fast. Luckily, it hit Siberia. As you can see on the right side picture, it was very small in size, like that. It's only a couple of inches in size, but it hit so hard, it went into the ground. Luckily, no people died. But if its size is bigger, scientists say that if its size is bigger, like 150 miles in diameter, it comes down, survives through the atmosphere, and comes to the Earth. It can hit the, say, Pacific Ocean. I have that picture. I'll show it to you right now. Simulated picture. If it hits Pacific Ocean, what kind of damage it can do? It can spill over all the water of the Pacific Ocean. It can convert the whole Earth into a ball of fire, like this. As you can see, let's see if we can. So it will be burning forever. So just to show you that scientists believe that Mars has similar condition like we have on the Earth. It was hit by an asteroid like that, and it burned into billions of years. Now it is cooling down, and there is a possibility human being can live over there. That's one of the mission for the Mars. So as you can see, now we talk about Ukraine war, nuclear bomb here and there, few of them here. But this tiny piece of stone can destroy the whole Earth into a ball of fire, which is nobody can stop it. Allah has so much power and authority. So just to give an idea, how long is 1 billion light years? We have to understand how vast is the universe. Like Earth's circumference is 25,000 miles. If you go around the Earth, come back 25,000 miles. If the light goes around the Earth, it will travel 8 times in 1 second, like that. It already traveled 8 times in 1 second. Because light travels in 1 second, 186,000 miles. This is for a minute, for an hour, for a day, for a month, for a year. If the light keeps on traveling continuously for 1 year, it will travel so many miles. Who can count those numbers? How about easy one? This one. How about this one? NASA finds objects billions of light years away from the Earth. Recently, it happened. I'd like to share with you this one. As you can see, Einstein, about 100 years back, he said there is a black hole. He could not prove it because we could not even have a telescope or means to find out where it is. But he predicted there is a possibility. Over the time, people did research, they have theories and all these things. And recently, as you can see, 2019, in the month of April, this is the first time human being was able to conceive the size of a black hole. Now, how did it happen? Just to give an idea, the Earth is 8,000 miles in diameter. And the sun is 860,000 miles in diameter. Much, much bigger. And this black hole size is 25 billion miles. Or in other words, if you collect 3 million Earths, we have only one Earth. If you collect 3 million Earths, that is the size of this black hole. And how far it is? 30 million trillion miles away, as you can see. So many zeros. How big, how vast. It is beyond our imagination that how Allah created such a beautiful thing so far. And how this was discovered. It took 200 scientists around the world. They have 8 telescopes around the world in different strategic positions. So they collected the data of this black hole. As you can see, black hole you cannot see with your eyes because light goes into the black hole. So scientists were able to collect the data of each segment independently by using 8 telescopes, and they combined those data. Those data drives were brought by 747, big data drives, and they combined those data and came up with this picture. So this is not the black hole. This is the picture of a black hole. As you can see, it is so vast. This is only one black hole. And scientists now predict there are black holes which are so big, if you take this black hole, you will not find it. It will vanish in the big black hole. You can see Allah's creativity is so vast, so big, beyond our imagination. There are 7 heavens, 7 skies, as you can see, as I showed you earlier. It mentioned in Surah Nuh, verse number 15 and 16. And the Prophet ﷺ traveled with Angel Jibreel like this. They traveled one night and they came to this boundary, Sidratul Muntaha.
Ya Allah.
And then Prophet ﷺ has to travel alone. And Allah showed him everything, what will happen in the grave, what will happen in the day of judgment, what is the reward of a good deed in the heaven, what is the punishment of a bad deed in the hellfire. All things were shown to him, and he was sent back to the earth and was able to describe. So these are real. These are not something imaginary. These are real things is going to happen to each human being and will face the consequences. As a Muslim, we should know about this information, and that's the reason we should give dawah to others who doesn't know these things. So inshallah, next presentation, we're going to stop here. We're going to pray Maghrib, maybe 10 minutes, and we're going to start this next presentation is physics. Okay, inshallah, physics in the Quran.
Jazakallah khair. Beautiful. I'll pause.
Okay. So,
Okay.
okay, inshallah. So next is physics. As you can see, this was discovered by scientists from Greek 2,300 years back. It has neutrons, protons, electrons, all these things are there. Modern science can even split in an atom. Allah mentioned about it in the Quran, Sabah, verse number 3, that he knows even what is inside an atom. We think we become smart, but Allah is saying that he knows what is inside an atom even. And there are many, nothing is unknown to him. As you can see. This is about geography. There is a water cycle. This gentleman first predicted water cycle. Water continuously moves from the rivers and ocean. It rises in the form of steam, cools down, forms cloud, and comes down in the form of rain like this. This is the water cycle. It is happening continuously. Allah mentioned about this rain in 60 to 70 places. Remember this rain. 60 to 70 places Allah mentioned about this rain. A lot of people think that why Allah is repeating the same thing again and again. It is the scientists, when they go through each of these verses and they discover something new. Allah has a reason for each of them. So this is one place that we produce different crops of different colors. This is one reason. Zoomer verse number 21. This is Wakia 6870. We benefit from it. We have different colors, different shape, different taste of different vegetation. Allah mentioned verse number 34, Yasin, that we have made gardens of date palms and grapes. Allah is describing all these things, that He has created all these things to benefit mankind. This is our geology. We have mountains, many places around the world. Allah mentioned about it, Nava verse number 6, it's called Autad, peg. The mountain is embedded inside the earth's surface and form a wedge like that. It has a reason, so that earth does not shake. Dr. Frank Press, he was the scientific advisor to President Carter. He wrote a book on earth and he described about the mountains. Actually, he take many of the Quranic verses and explained in that book. It's basically the mountains stabilize the earth crust. This is another place Allah mentioned about it, that we have firm mountains which is holding the earth's surface in their places. Anbiya verse number 31. In fact, now scientists say wherever we have the earth's surface, as you can see on the top, we have similar thing on the ground as deep as 9 times, which is holding the earth's surface in their places. This is about oceanography. Allah mentioned about it, Ar-Rahman verse number 19 and 20. There are barriers. There are many places water is salt, some water is sweet, and they do not mix together. They maintain their barriers. This is another place. Dr. William Hay, he is the marine scientist, University of Colorado, Denver. He is the Dean of Marine Science. He took all the Quranic verses about these 2 seas of salt water and sweet water, and he wrote many technical papers, over 70 technical papers describing how these 2 water will not combine, at what condition will combine, and so on. He is the authority of these Quranic verses. So many things to learn from this thing. Just to give an idea, this is, excuse me, this is Gibraltar. On the top, we have Mediterranean Sea. On the bottom, on the Atlantic Ocean. The water crosses from one side to the other side. The Mediterranean Sea is very small as compared to Atlantic Ocean. So it is more saltish than Atlantic Ocean. So when they cross each other through the Strait of Gibraltar in Spain, they do not mix. They can run hundreds of miles without joining together like this.
Subhanallah.
You can see they can run hundreds of miles without joining together. On the top side, you can see that is saltish. Bottom side is greener. It is less saltish. These scientists say that their salt density can be so sensitive that if the difference is 0.0001, 1,000th of a decimal difference, they will maintain their barriers. If that difference becomes smaller than that, then they will break their barriers and join together. They're so sensitive. In the same way, if you go into this water, there are layers of darkness. Allah mentioned in the Quran, this is the verse number 40, Surah Nur, that He maintained the layers of darkness inside the water. Just to give an idea, if the light falls into the water, some will be reflected and some will go inside the water. And the light has 7 colors, like that. Each color will go up to a certain depth and it stops. The red color will go up to 30 to 45 feet, orange 90 to 150 feet, and after 3,000 feet, complete darkness. What does it mean? Why Allah is saying all these things? Just to give an idea, if you go to Pacific Ocean now and go into the water, say 50 feet below the surface, below 45 feet, 50 feet into the water, deep, and you have a cut, your red blood is bleeding, but you're not able to see red blood. because it stops at 45 feet. There is no red color at after 45 feet. There is no orange color after 150 feet. Each color stops up to a certain depth and it stops. Even the fish cannot see itself. So that is the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has scaled down different kinds of colors. They stop up to a certain depth into the water. That is called layered darkness. This is biology. Every living thing is made with 80% water. Good example, we are human being. We in our body, we have 80% water. That is one reason, if you feel bad, drink a lot of water, especially youngsters. Drink a lot of water. It is vital for your health. It is healthy. Allah mentioned about it in many places. Anbiya 30. From water, every living thing. This is another place. Furqan 54. Man from water. This is Nur. Every moving, living creature from water. Water is very vital for human survival. Not human, any living things. In fact, when NASA sends any probe to any planet, first thing is find water. If there is water, there is a possibility of living things. Like Mars has some water. Moon doesn't have any water. So that is the focus on Mars, that there may be something over there. So there is a possibility because of the water. This is botany. Allah made everything in pairs, as you can see. Taha, verse number 53. All the vegetation you see, all the fruits, everything is made with pairs. They are formed pairs. That's how you have genetic engineering. You can bisect a product and get a better product. Allah mentioned it in the Quran, as you can see. This is Ar-Ra'd, verse number 3. Just to give an idea, watermelon. How much is watermelon in New Jersey? $5? Good. Okay. It is red color. Sometimes they have a seedless. All kinds of things are there. If you go to Japan, the same watermelon is $100. How about that? Why? Because its shape is cubical. Their refrigerator doesn't have enough space to put a circular one. So they designed a cubical one. There are many things you can do because of genetic engineering. Florida makes most of the oranges. Like 50 years back, 60 years back, if the weather is cold, very cold, they used to lose their crops. Not anymore. Now they have oranges which can survive in cold weather. It doesn't have a frostbite, and they can have seedless. They can have more what we call sweet oranges, not sour anymore. All these things are possible because Allah put all those information in pairs, and you can bisect. You can make a better product. This is our geology. We have animals and birds, they live in communities like us. We think they're just walking around, but actually they have communities like us. Allah mentioned in the Quran, Al-Anam, verse number 38. They live in communities like us. And there are many, many descriptions. The birds are flying, come back with full stomach. This is about the bee. Dr. Shinhajo, he showed me that video about the bees. This gentleman, French scientist, 1973, he did research on the behavior and communication of bees, and he got Nobel Prize. How about that? In fact, he used many Quranic verses to understand how the bees behave. And there are many, many descriptions in the Quran. They have a queen, they have a male, female, and so on. Just to give an idea, every colony has one queen. And most of the workers, soldiers are female, 10 to 50,000. And male, they're called drone. There are only few in number, 100 to 500. They mate and die. The moment they mate, they die. Isn't that amazing? That's why most of the dead bees you can see on the floor from hanging are dead bees. They have a short life. Luckily, we are not bees. So we are still hanging around, right? We're hanging around. But male bee has a short life. Once they mate, they have to die. It is the women that run the show over there. They make holes. The queen lays eggs, 2,000 eggs per day, and these workers, they carry them, put them in the holes, and make more bees, collect honey, and benefit mankind. So this cycle goes on. This is the ants. As you can see, the ants are very hardworking. Now scientists say they don't sleep even. We human beings have to sleep, right? They don't sleep. In fact, now scientists say closest to human are the ants. And there are many, many descriptions. They continuously travel, they collect food, this and that. There are many things common between human being and ants. They bury their dead body like we do. They have a sophisticated system of division of labor with manager, supervisor, foreman, worker, like we have in a plant. They meet once in a while and chat. They can sleep, they might as well chat with each other. They have an advanced method of communication among themselves. They hold regular markets to exchange goods. So beautiful. How many of us exchange goods? We sometimes do if he's from my country or he's from my language or so on, we do it. But we really do not intermingle with others. It is the bees, ants. They continuously exchange goods. That was the habit of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever he used to get receive any gifts, he would not take home. He would give it away to his companions. Every companion used to think that the Prophet loved me most. They're so beautiful. They are such a beautiful hearts. Today we don't mingle with each other. We fight with each other. We have groups. We have all kinds of groups among ourselves. This ant story in the Quran has a big message for mankind to understand. That how 100,000 bees, 100,000 ants continuously work together to bring harmony to benefit mankind. We human beings, if we have two Muslims, we have three opinions. We cannot agree on anything. We keep fighting forever. So try to exchange goods, not only on Eid, but other times also. And they store their grain in winter. If their goes bad by rain, they bring them out, dry it, and put them back. This is embryology is a very broad-based subject. Try to finish inshallah as quickly as can. So please bear in patience. This is a very important subject in the Quran. DNA, it is an acid, as you can see. This is the human cell. Every human cell has roughly 100 trillion cells. And each cell has a DNA in the nucleus, organized in chromosomes, 23 pairs of chromosomes in the mother's womb. So there's the picture of the 23 pairs of chromosomes, as you can see. What DNA means for a regular guy, regular person, Allah put all the genetic information like data bank into the DNA, like what will be the color of your hair, color of your eye, how height you'll be, how much sickness you'll have, like a blueprint. Before any building is built, you have a blueprint. Similarly, before you are born in the mother's womb, Allah put all this information into the DNA. So you are built that way. Everything in your body are built according to the DNA. And it is a helix. It is a structure like that. They're connected. All coded informations. If scientist wants to write down all the coded information into the DNA, they estimate that it will take 450,000 pages to write down everything Allah mentioned into the DNA. Not a DNA can ever be sent. Modern day criminal investigation can be traced using the DNA. It is very common. Somebody was convicted 25 years. Now they do the DNA testing. They found that the guy was innocent. He was not even there. It is possible. Also, there are many stem cell research. Prenatal diagnostics are possible because of the DNA. Like good example, I live in Houston. Houston was very famous for heart transplant. First, you had a mechanical human heart, then you had mechanical heart. Now we don't have any of these things anymore because we have a DNA advancement. What they're doing, they are making, like most of the time, heart is okay. Your heart is okay. Only problem is the valve. Valve become weak. It cannot pump. It cannot hold pressure, those things. So you can make your own valve cells outside and implant in your heart. Or in other words, you have the same pump, heart pump with a new valve, and you can keep going. So those are possible today, which was not possible with 30, 40 years back, because we have a advancement into DNA research. stem cell research. You can have a baby who was like good example. This is a very common example. Someone is sick. He has a diabetes. He has a say cancer. His father had cancer. He has cancer, and very likely his son will have cancer. It is possible to remove those cancerous cells before the child is born, and the child will be born cancer-free. This is very important these days, especially what you call breast cancer. It is said that if the mother has a breast cancer, it is very likely that the girl will have breast cancer also, almost 50%. It is the highest, one of the highest in cancer rate. The girl will have a breast cancer. It is possible to remove those things, monogram and all kinds of things we do. But also, if the girl is being born, before they are born, you can remove those cancerous cells and the child can be born cancer-free. It is possible. It is not fully successful, but those are the advancement of science because Allah put all the information into the DNA.
Yes.
This is a good example. Allah mentioned about Sajda, verse number 8, that how a sperm goes into the egg and fertilize the egg. There are 300 million sperms compete to go inside the egg. Only one will be able to successfully go inside and fertilize the egg. That's how we are born, each of us. And that is how it is fertilized.
Doctor.
What is it? Yes.
Doctor, by the way, do not rush because we took 12 minutes. We didn't start till 12 minutes after, then we took 10 minutes. So you have time. Don't feel you have to rush. You have at least 40 minutes maybe from now.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Because these are very important fields. This affects our life every day. As a Muslim, we should know about this Quranic information. It is being taught in the medical school.
Of course.
And we Muslims are completely in the dark. We are busy in the little things. We do not know what Allah is describing in the Quran. It is so advanced. Some scientists say there are many things yet to be discovered. We cannot explain because those things has not been discovered yet. So there are 200 body cells a human being has, roughly 200, like this. Pancreas cell, heart cell, kidney cell, liver cell, bone cell. All cells are there, different kinds. They have different functions, as you can see. Like good example, liver cell. It has holes through which food flows, and it processes the food. Anything bad, it holds back, like a filter. You have a kidney cell, bone cell, liver cell. All these cells have different functions. And they grow by getting the information from the DNA. There is no confusion, like a big IT department. Millions of data is flowing. Each of the cell is being built from the information into the DNA. Perfect, no confusion. No website failure. Everything works perfectly. Each knows where and how it will function. So beautifully Allah made your human being, your body. We really sometimes fail to understand that Allah made us so beautifully. So many things can go wrong. It is He who has protecting us, breathing, help us to breathe every moment.
SubhanAllah.
Allah knows, Allah ensures this flawless organization and inspires body cell what they have to do. Each cell knows how to grow, how to function, what is their job. Their job is defined. Everything is perfect. Your full body is perfectly customized. Every part of your body, there will be no human being around the world ever who will have similar body part like you have. Your body part is fully customized. Your heart is customized. Your leg is customized. Everything. Allah mentioned about it in the Quran. And there is a continuous development of body parts. Good example, this is the heart development. At the beginning, after 23 days, we have few lines. After 40 days, complete heart. Then it starts pumping, and that is the first time mother realizes that something is moving in her stomach. You are moving inside her stomach. That's how the heart starts pumping, and it will keep pumping when it comes to the earth until death. That's the heart development. Similarly, this is face development. Face has many parts, your ear, nose, all kinds of fun. And after 60 days, your full face is completely made. You see, have we ever looked at the mirror and thanked Allah that, oh Allah, you gave me such a beautiful face? Allah even took extra 20 days. Heart takes 40 days, face takes 60 days to make sure you have a beautiful face. Try to appreciate what Allah has made for you. And this is the eye development. This is blood-sided blood. All liquid lines. There are thousands and thousands of lines through which blood flows. Each of them has a beginning time and ending time. Now, scientists are smart. They say that total length of the blood vessels. How many lengths of the blood vessel in your body where the blood flows? Scientists estimate it is roughly 24,000 miles, as long as the circumference of the earth. Your little pump is pumping blood through 24,000 miles. How about that? If anywhere, any place, there is a clogging, there is a slowdown of the blood, you are in ICU, your history. So many things we take it for granted. We fail to realize that Allah took time to make those things working for you. So how to benefit most from Allah? That should be our focus. Okay, we learn so many things Allah made. Allah made me, my heart is running, my kidney is running, my liver is running. What can I do? What do you expect from Allah? He did everything. Even I didn't know that. He did everything for me. So how to benefit most from Allah? That should be our focus. Allah created everything just by saying, kun fayakun, be, and it came into existence. So Allah has described in the Quran about the science. So we should try to understand him better. That is the focus. He has 99 names. To understand his attributes, he can see everything, he can hear everything, all these things. He controls my life and death. We have so many plans, he can stop anytime. We cannot go outside his boundary. We don't even know his boundary. We have a hard time to find a what we call supernova. We're at his mercy every moment. If you want to see Allah's mercy, go to the hospital. Go to the ICU, intensive care unit. Go over there and see how little things. He cannot urinate, he cannot breathe, he cannot. So many things are wrong. So we are drowned in the mercy of Allah. So many things are working properly in our system. We take it for granted. So he's doing all these things for us. Excuse me. What we should do? This is my request. We should try to understand the Quran. It is not just for reading and counting rewards. It is more than that. Why it has to be scientists? They find out everything from Quran, and we are on the sideline. We are looking into the CNN news and understand what Allah created in the Quran. We should invest ourselves. If it is too late for you, invest your children. We want to make your children have a what you call doctor, engineer, big shot. How about making a great scholar who can interpret the Quran, who can describe what Allah is saying in the Quran? We need those people. We don't have it. It is the non-Muslim. They are explaining everything from the Quran. We should invest. And the purpose is to obey Allah and follow his messenger. And Shaitan is our open enemy. He's working 24/7. We even sleep 8 hours. While you are sleeping, he's working. So our focus should be that how can I propagate Islam? We are the followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the last messenger and he is the Rahmatul lil Alamin. He is the mercy for the entire universe. He is the prophet for Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, North Pole, South Pole, any pole. You name anything. Anywhere there is a human, if he wants success, he has to follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now we are his followers. It is our job to convey his message. If we do, Allah says, I'm going to give you highest reward. Sometimes we want more rewards. We say, okay, if I recite this dua, we get rewards. If we recite this verse, I get more rewards. But highest reward will be given to those people who will be responsible to spread Islam. Maximum rewards. That is the reason the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, they invested their lives. They traveled to different parts of the world. They spread Islam. So we have Muslims all over the world. 4 Sahaba went to Indonesia. Today is the largest Muslim country in the world. It is possible because they travel. They spread Islam. It is our job, especially those. America is the richest country in this. We have people coming everywhere around the world for medicine, for degree, for science, for treatment. In Houston, we have a medical center. Texas Medical Center, largest medical center in the world. Over 10,000 patients. We have 19 hospitals inside, one inside the other, within 1 square mile. On an average, 10,000 patients, mostly from Middle East, they are here for treatment. So this is the country of opportunity. People are coming here for education, for high tech, for job, for arms, you name anything. This is the country. Whole world is looking into this country, right? And we are living in this country. So you can have a good life, you can have a good job, good car, good house, a lot of money in the bank, you can be happy. But you have the greatest opportunity to spread Islam from this country. So many Islamic activity you can do in this country, you cannot even do in Muslim country. Is it not true? I went to many Muslim countries, they said not allowed to have a gathering. Masjid, you just pray and go home. Don't even give salam to anybody. Muslim countries are doing this. And we have such a beautiful country here. We have so many Muslim communities around the US. We are active. We have Islamic halakha. We have Quran, memorization, and so many Islamic activity we are doing in this country. But one thing is important, which is, that's why my request to all of you, that spend time spreading Islam. I have a lot of flyers, brochures. I have seminars, lectures. The Dr. Hajo, he posted that effective dawah. You can share with anybody. That's very educational, only 12 minutes. This way you can share the information to any people around the world. And that will benefit mankind. People do not know about Allah. It is our job to convey his message. That should be our legacy. When you leave this world, what you're living, $2 million, couple of businesses, but you can leave your activities which will benefit mankind. Think about Imam Bukhari. He collected 600,000 hadiths and he compiled only 7,000 hadiths, which is called Sahih al-Bukhari. That book is so valuable. Till the last day of this world, no Muslim can learn a hadith without his book. That is his legacy. What is your legacy? What you are living here? Because you will be going anyway. We are all living. Leave something which will benefit mankind. Sadqa Jariyah, write a book, propagation, Zoom presentation around the world, benefit mankind. They know they are created and they can be saved from the hellfire. This is our job. So these are the things you can do, easy and difficult. Easy things is email. As you can see, email, jail, I supply Quran to the jail. There are thousands of Muslims in every state. In Texas, 3,000. Hospital, church, university, newspaper, reporter, politician, media, TV, radio. These are the ways you can connect people about Islam. You have to go to these things. I always volunteer. Anytime I meet anybody, whether it is plane, train, anywhere I meet anybody, I give dawah. I carry my books. I carry my CD. I carry my flyers. You have something valuable to give it to the people next door sitting next to you. We talk everything except Islam. So this is our job. So I have this Quran distribution. I just wanted to show you, I have 3 Quran. One is English, Spanish, and French. I distribute to all over the world, as you can see. I even sent recently, there was a killing in what you call New Zealand. I sent overnight. These are the countries: Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, Australia, Caribbean Islands. I just shipped today 40 boxes to Trinidad, Port of Spain, Guyana. And jail inmates across the Quran. There are so many people becoming Muslim in the jail. They even pray Zuma these days. In some places, they want halal meat, they want halal food, they want Islamic dress, they want caps. My son lives in Saudi Arabia. He sent me caps, Tosbi, Meswak. I send them to the jail. I get hundreds of letters. That is a permanent investment. Every jail has a library. Whatever you send, it stay in the jail. And whoever is not a Muslim, he can read those things. And whoever is a Muslim, when he leaves, it will make Muslim to somebody else. So these are little things, but it can benefit Muslims, even in the jail. So I have final revelation. I like to show to you. Inshallah, if I can, I received 10,000 copies of Turkish printed Quran. Very beautiful. And I'm going to send, you can contact us. This is my cell number. This is email address. You can write to us for copies. This is the Quran I have right now. I want to show it to you. As you can see, this is the most beautiful Quran I have ever seen, printed in Turkey. Very beautifully, nice cover, English, it's plain English. See, I saw the people, I used to carry dictionary actually to know the meaning of the Quran, because there are so many uncommon words, not anymore. I remove all those words. As you can see, it is a simple English for anybody to use. Jazakallah khair for your time. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Fantastic. Can I add one thing, Doc?
Yes.
When you were talking about stem cell research, this is about 10 years ago. Technology is not new, really. They have, if somebody has burn, if you burn more than 30% of your body, you go into septic shock and you get infections and you could die, actually. The skin, as we know, is the most painful organ that we have.
Yeah.
But a lot of firefighters, you know, they get burned, maybe their arm or their shoulder or their ankle. Now, what they do is with stem cell research, they mix your own, they take about 1 inch stamp from somewhere else in your body, they mix the DNA, the stem cells, with solutions, and they spray you with a gun. The skin comes back in 2 days, like scars. You don't have grafts, you don't have. I just attached a couple of small videos into the ROS website. You can see it. Patient goes into the office, into the burn unit Friday with completely burned arm, cooked, completely cooked, char black. Comes out Monday with brand new arm. No infections, nothing.
I see you're in the field, so you know more than I know whatever I collected, but it's just a good point, very good point. These are the things, DNA is so vital.
And Muslims, we live in the past. We say we contributed to civilization because we are Uqra 1400 years ago. What about now? I have an issue with that. And I always argue, we didn't even add anything to civilization the last 500 years as Muslims. And that's really sad.
That is the focus of my presentation. That I like to see our Muslims who live in America, forget about Middle East, forget about Asia, forget about other countries, Muslim. They are doing whatever they look. Pakistan is falling apart. There are all kinds of corruption, all kinds of things going on. But with those who are living in America, this is my request. Please take initiative of spreading Islam. Make your children a scholar and give them the responsibility to spread Islam. That is missing among us.
Yes. How do we get involved with your dawah effort here locally as our group ROS? I would like to see if we can get involved at smaller scale maybe and work together, you know.
Inshallah. I have another thing I'm doing these days. I'm making little flyers, Quran, and I give it to groups. There are groups. One is in New Jersey actually. There is a brother, he's from India, he's doing it. We call it street dawah. What they do, they put a table in outside the shopping mall. I have people in Detroit, New Zealand, New Jersey, California, Seattle, many cities who can organize. I supply them with those Quran and books, and anybody walk in, I can give them Quran. You can talk to about Islam, and I have people, they became Muslim on the spot.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Less than a minute, they say, yeah.